So tonight for notes, we are classifying triangles. So hopefully this should be a little bit of review. We should see a lot of words that we're familiar with, and we're going to talk about the two ways in which we can classify triangles. So there's two ways in which we classify triangles. So we're going to split this right down the middle, and one way is by angles. So our angles determine what kind of triangles they are. And another way is by sides. And when I talk about sides, I'm talking about side lengths. So we have a triangle, and we might have some congruent sides, and we might have some non-congruent sides. So let's talk about angles first. So if you have a triangle that looks like this, and normally I say don't trust the picture, like drawn to scale, but in the pictures that I'm drawing, I'm going to try to draw them to scale. So looking at this triangle right here, noticing these angles are all acute angles. So let's say we have a triangle with 3 acute angles. And I'm going to abbreviate a lot of notes. So instead of writing out angles, I'm going to use this little symbol. Writing out angles, 3 acute angles, we call that triangle acute. Who would have thought? All right, let's say we have a triangle with an obtuse angle. So one obtuse angle, we call that obtuse. And if you look at the difference, in the first one we said 3 acute angles, and we can have that because a triangle, the sum of our interior angles adds up to 180. So we could have 3 acute angles that add to 180, but we definitely could not have a triangle with more than 1 obtuse angle. So that's why it's only 1. All right, let's see if we have another one. The next one is actually a very specific one. So I drew these little arcs, but they don't necessarily need to all be the same. Next one is if you have a triangle that has all 3 congruent angles. So we have 3 congruent angles. And we're going to call this type of triangle equiangular. Equiangular. So if we kind of look at that word, I know it's kind of a strange word, but if we break it down, equi is kind of like equal. And angular is like angle. So that's where that comes from, equiangular. And one more that we haven't talked about, but it's definitely not a brand new triangle. We've talked about acute, we've talked about obtuse, so that last one is going to be if you have a triangle with 1 right angle, we have a right triangle. So 1 right angle is a right triangle. All right, so those are our key types of angles when we types of triangles when we classify by angle. So we have acute, obtuse, equiangular, and right angle. All right, so let's see what happens when we classify by sides. So we're talking about the side lengths. So let's say we have a triangle with 3 congruent sides. So we have a triangle, and